All right, you guys, this your boy back at y'all with another one, man. Let's get down to business. Hope everyone having a good morning. And that video I promised that I was going to do regarding Bill Cosby, the events leading up to him getting convicted, and the events that led up to him getting exonerated or getting released from prison is coming. Still got to do a little bit more research, but um, shout out to my sister Pink Meadows in the building this morning. Been real busy. I've been on the road and all this other type of shit. But anyway, let's get down to business, man. Marc Lamont Hill, you a dumbass motherfucker. How did you get a doctor title anyway? For real. So, in case you didn't know, last night Marc Lamont Hill had Judge Joe Brown on his show, and they were talking about Bill Cosby being released. Now, Marc Lamont Hill was trying to frame it in a way to where it made Bill Cosby look guilty, right? But last time I checked, you're proven guilty in a court of law, not in a court of public opinion. And that was Marc Lamont Hill tried to bait Judge Joe Brown by framing the question in a way to it would get a reaction out of Judge Joe Brown, but Judge Joe Brown didn't take the bait. Judge Joe Brown did not take the bait, and he stood on principle. When someone makes an accusation, they have to prove that what they allege is true, not the other way around. And that was the big takeaway, that when it comes to these cases and all that, right, because people do have a propensity to lie, right? Mainstream media has a propensity to lie. And the general public basically made Bill Cosby out to be this fucking monster, right? So when he got released from jail, you had all this so-called phony outrage, and I'm still looking for anybody that was running their mouth about Bill Cosby to explain to me how Allison Mack would be involved in a sex cult, get 3 years in jail, and on top of that, don't have to register as a sex offender. But that's for another video, right? We're gonna talk about we back here on Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown cooked Marc Lamont Hill last night. If you haven't watched that interview, I highly recommend you watch that interview, because he basically put Marc Lamont Hill in his place. And it just needs to be said. Marc Lamont Hill is the operative for white supremacy. He is. That black news channel, that should be the buck dancing news channel. Because in a court of law, I don't care about your opinion. If you put it in this practical application, I don't care about your opinion. I care about the facts. And there was a lot of facts that was in that. If you watch the damn court, the proceedings, if you watch the trial of Bill Cosby, there was evidence that mainstream media conveniently left out. There was. And yet, you had Marc Lamont Hill basically trying to frame it to where Bill Cosby, this menace to society, like he's this so-called threat. He even put it out on his official Twitter account last night about Bill Cosby isn't innocent. How is he not innocent? He's released from prison, so obviously he is, you big dummy. Obviously, if the facts came out that he was guilty, then he would have been in prison right now. Obviously, there was no case. Obviously, he was railroaded. Obviously, he should have never gotten charged in the first place. But salute to Judge Joe Brown for putting that bastard in his place, man. For real. Because Judge Joe Brown wasn't having none of the shenanigans. He wasn't. Judge Joe Brown, for all intents and purposes, went in and he broke it down systematically about how this works. Someone makes an accusation. The person that made the accusation needs to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that what they allege actually happened. It should not be up to the defense to disprove what they did, right? And then get this, when the media, because he also talked, Judge Joe Brown also talked about this last night, when he talks about how the media frames it in a way to garner a reaction, right? When people out here are basically making Bill Cosby out to be guilty before he's proven innocent in the court of law, then we have a situation where it's called mob rule. So the individual that's being accused of something don't get a chance to defend himself. We're just going to make this guy guilty before he's proven innocent. Because if the facts come out later on and they're proving that he's not guilty, then are these same people going to apologize for what they said? Is anybody in the mainstream media going to retract their statements and all that and go come out and apologize to Dr. Cosby for the shit they said, for the railroading and the raking this man through the coals and all that type of shit? Are they going to come out and apologize? No, they aren't. They're just going to go on to the next story. So at what point is someone going to get their due process, right? At what point? Because it's not like Bill Cosby didn't have his rights violated, because he did. His Fifth Amendment rights was violated. You can't coerce somebody into a confession. You can't. Then, obviously, the first DA, now Bruce Castor, now if you don't remember who Bruce Castor is, that was the same dude that was the defense lawyer for Donald Trump during the second impeachment hearing, right? So that dude went in and he investigated it, and he didn't find anything wrong, and he didn't pursue the case because there wasn't any sufficient evidence. So when you had the second DA come behind Bruce Castor, Kevin Steele, when Kevin Steele went behind Bruce Castor and went after Bill Cosby, right? And then when he was running for office, the dude literally came out and said that he was going after Bill Cosby. So you already got prejudice towards Bill Cosby, which means he's not going to get a fair trial. So we got prejudice against Bill Cosby by the DA, plus the fact he violated the man's rights by going after him. Plus you had the court of public opinion, plus the mainstream media framing it in a way the way it made this man look guilty before he's proven innocent. There was no way Bill Cosby was getting a fair trial. There was no way in hell Bill Cosby was going to get a fair trial. Which, in a way, he shouldn't have gone to court in the first place. He shouldn't have gotten charged. He shouldn't have gone to court. Judge Joe Brown alluded to that also. And the very first thing he said, he talked to many different lawyers and other judges, and not one of them said that this case should have gone to trial. Hell, he shouldn't have gotten charged. So this whole notion that Mark Lamont Hill was trying to insinuate that Bill Cosby's not innocent. How is he not innocent? How? How is he not innocent? So salute to Judge Joe Brown for standing on his square and putting this fucking square in his place. And that's all what Mark Lamont Hill was. He was nothing but a goddamn square. And I'm still trying to figure out why the fuck did you brought in Professor Chunky, the girl's name Professor Crunk on Twitter, right? And that KRS-One baby sister looking woman on your TV the other night. Why? Like I said before, they had all that smoke for goddamn Bill Cosby, but they ain't got no smoke for Allison Mack. Where's Me Too movement talking about that, right? Judge Joe Brown talked about how these women be getting involved in behavior. What's up, my brother, Courtney Washington? How these women got involved in behavior. What's up, Unique Dawn, my sister? For real. They get involved in this behavior. Yeah, he gave them the quaaludes, but they didn't have to take it. He didn't force it down their throat. So my thing is, why should I have to be held accountable for the actions of somebody else? Hey, you know, I'm a non-alcoholic. And you know, I have people offer me alcohol all the time. That don't mean I gotta fucking drink it. If someone offers you a pill, that don't mean you gotta take it. You can say no. And then another thing that they leave out, which Judge Joe Brown alluded to, was back in the 70s, that kind of behavior was acceptable in the 70s. So you cannot take behavior in the 70s that was acceptable back then and try to make it unacceptable in 2020. The fuck out of here, man. Or 2021. It's 2021. 2021. For real. You cannot take behavior that was acceptable back then and try to have all this outrage about it now. And you know what? The people that was outraged about this behavior back then weren't even born back then. Think about this, y'all. The people that are so outraged about behavior back then was not born back then. Or if they were, they're probably like they're probably like 4 or 5 years old. Not even cognizant enough to even remember what was going on back then. So you can't hold somebody accountable now for some shit that happened, for some shit that was acceptable back then. The fuck out of here. So salute to Judge Joe Brown for kicking this motherfucker in his ass. Ever since Mark Lamont Hill got fired from CNN, all this dude was doing, he, you know, straight out the Roland Martin playbook. Because that's exactly what it is. It's straight out the Roland Martin playbook that I'm going to shuck and jive and buck dance my way to a job. And I can kiss whatever white man ass I need to kiss so that way they can see me going in on my black people. They don't fucking trust you, dummy. Once they see that you're a sellout, look, do you fucking coons and buck dancers ever fucking learn? Don't y'all fucking learn that once you sell out the black community, yes, you're going to get birdseed. Yes, you can get some fucking breadcrumbs. But as soon as they get done with you, with their agenda, they're going to toss you aside. They're going to flush you down the toilet like a used condom. You can't come back to the black community after that. You can't. We don't trust you. They sure as hell don't trust you. And then what? Then what? Then what? What you gonna do left? What you gonna do now? You can't come back. You just gonna be in an island by yourself with all the other flunkies, bootlicking, buck dancing sellouts. So that's what you get. I noticed Lamont Hill always cuts him off and tries to redirect the conversation, right? Because that's what happens when you don't have an argument and you're losing the debate, right? We see this all the time on my brother Ticket channel, right? When they talking basketball, right? Guys losing the debate, they frame the, and then they try to redirect, they try to frame it, they try to change the subject. That's what happened to people when they lose debates. And that's how you can tell someone has lost a debate. They try to redirect, they try to change the subject, they try to do everything else but stay on subject. And that's what Marc Lamont Hill tried to do in that case with Judge Joe Brown, but Judge Joe Brown would not let his foot off his neck. What's up, Kenyon Perry? When you're going, and then I don't get this, right? Now, Marc Lamont Hill is supposed to be this doctor. Doctor of what? Keyboarding? Basket weaving? Analytics? What the fuck is he a doctor of, right? Anyway, aside from that, he's trying to tell a judge. Now, we've seen the many cases on Judge Joe Brown throughout the years when he had a full head of black hair, right? He went from a full head of black hair to baldy locks. What's up, Wilts? A man that's probably practiced law longer than what Marc Lamont Hill's been living, and yet he's trying to tell Judge Joe Brown about Bill Cosby, about the Bill Cosby case, right? And he tried to say, well, we're in agreement when it comes to the law. Obviously, you're not, because you're trying to make this man out to be guilty. So obviously, there's no agreement there. If you agree with what Judge Joe Brown said, Marc Lamont Hill, you big dummy, then what the fuck was the purpose of that tweet you put up the other night? You, for all intents and purposes, made Bill Cosby out to be this goddamn sex predator. What's up, Wilt? For real. You made this dude to be out some goddamn sex predator, that he's this menace to society. That, oh my God, this black man, this 83-year-old black man, oh my God, he's such a danger. Hide your kids, hide your wife. The black man's coming. Ah, the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, Marc Lamont Hill. Get your ass on fucking code. Don't you see what happened when you out here buck dancing the way you are? Obviously, you haven't seen what happened. See, when it comes to these goddamn bootlicks, right? Whether it be the Jesse Lee Petersons on the right side of the bootlicking class, and then you got this fucking dummy, Marc Lamont Hill, on the left side of the bootlicking class. Both of these jackasses on the opposite side of bootlickery aim to serve the same purpose. When you talk about the Candace Owens on the right side, or god dang on oh, what's the other coon ass motherfucker name on the left side? Oh shit. Man, that motherfucking name slipped my mind just that quick. But you get the idea. Oh, Roland Martin. How can I forget? Roland Martin. They're telling y'all, hey, Democrats do all this stuff for you and Republicans and do this stuff. Get the fuck out of here. Both of y'all are fucking coons. Difference is one's on the left side, the other one's on the right. Can't tell me that, oh, well Bill Cosby did all that stuff to this women. Says who? Since when? Much of the people that was on that stacked the deck. That's another thing they talked. They haven't talked about this, but I'm gonna talk about it, right? Matter of fact, Professor Black Truth alluded to this, right? When it comes to accusation against a black man, right? When it comes to sexual assault or sexual misconduct, right? One strategy that they do is stack the deck. And what do I mean by stacking the deck? Well, if you look at the Deshaun Watson case, right? Now, we didn't hear anything about Deshaun Watson being this, this menace to society, this, this raging sex predator, right? We didn't hear none of that until Deshaun Watson asked to be traded from the Houston Texans. When Deshaun Watson asked to be traded from the Houston Texans, all of a sudden, all these women came out and talk about how he touched them inappropriately, how he made them feel uncomfortable, and all this other shit. Now, these women are not sex therapists. They're fucking massage therapists, right? All these massage therapists came out and talk about, oh man, Deshaun Watson, he's man, he got me to touch his dick, and he got me to do this, he got me to do that, and I felt very uncomfortable, and I'm visibly shaking, and all this other type of shit. And then as the days and weeks go by, the number just kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher. First it was 4, then it was 6, then it was 10, then it was 15, then it was 18, then it was 21, then it was 24. All these so-called women came out speaking out against Deshaun Watson, and that women's rights need to be empowered, and our voices need to be heard, and all this other type of shit. You have people on ESPN, Molly Karam, raking this man through the fucking coals. Now, we ain't heard not one piece of evidence supporting this case, but it's not about the facts, it's about getting you a certain reaction. Basically, for all intents and purposes, making him out to be guilty before he even had his day in court. Now, as the days and weeks go by, what did we learn? Oh, we learned that the lawyer was best friends with the owner of the Houston Texans. Well, boom, that right there is a conflict of interest, right? Conflict of interest. Then we learned that some of these so-called massage therapists weren't even licensed massage therapists. They didn't even have a license to practice massage therapy. Then we also learned that the lawyer tried to extort goddamn Deshaun Watson for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hey, you give me this hundreds of thousands of dollars, hey, we can make this all go away. Well, guess what, motherfucker? That's prosecutorial misconduct. You should be disbarred and put in fucking jail right now. We also learned that the judge made a ruling to where if you're a woman that came out and made an allegation against Deshaun Watson, you need to reveal yourself. When that ruling came down, all of a sudden now, we ain't heard nothing about this Deshaun Watson case. We haven't heard shit since then. because we all know what it was about. It's not more than a goddamn smear campaign to devalue the name of Deshaun Watson so that way no other team would touch him. And for all intents and purposes, that succeeded. Think about it, y'all. The NFL, right? And don't get me wrong, I got my shit about the NFL, right? The NFL ain't nothing more than motherfuckers racist ass fucking league, right? When they suspended Adrian Peterson for whipping his kid, right? They put him on the exempt list and all that type of shit. Why did the NFL not put Deshaun Watson on the commissioner's exempt list? If this so-called allegations of him being this, rampant, staunch rapist and shit, if all that was true, then why didn't the NFL not put him on the commissioner's exempt list? Why didn't the NFL not suspend him? Why didn't the NFL withhold his pay? The NFL said that they're an investigation. Why haven't they came out and said that, oh yeah, we're gonna put Deshaun Watson on the commissioner's exempt list, and we're gonna fine him, we're gonna suspend him? The NFL has said nothing to that sort because it was all bullshit. Bill Cosby did 3 years of his life. 3 years of his life that he's not going to get back in jail over hearsay. No evidence, nothing to that sort, but he still got found guilty. Rights were violated, and he still did 3 years in the bean. And they still tried to get him to admit to rape when he did nothing of the sort. And Marc Lamont got some audacity to try to smear this man through other black people. Because that's what coonery does. Hey, let's just get other black people, let's just go at this one black man, right? So for all you people out there that was running your mouth talking about, oh man, you out here bringing another black man down, what the fuck is this? Huh? All this shit, you so-called black men out there that's calling yourself, oh man, you need to stop going against other black men and start bringing black men down and all this other type of shit. What the fuck was this? What Marc Lamont tried to do to Bill Cosby? Huh? So before y'all come in this bitch, when you'll stand up for your rights, bigoto. When you come here, before you come in with that bullshit, right? I need y'all to put this shit in its proper context. All you guys out there that was running your mouth talking about bringing another black man down, what the fuck is this? All you feminists out there that were so-called raking Bill Cosby through the coals, but yet a woman and goddamn Allison Mack can get involved in a sex cult, brand these women like they were fucking cows or cattle in that matter, only do 3 years in jail and not be the fucking and not even get motherfucking not even have to register as a sex offender, right? But yet everybody got all this outrage towards Bill Cosby. Everybody got this disdain towards Bill Cosby. Like Bill Cosby did something wrong. You motherfuckers are disgusting, like I alluded to yesterday. See, what Judge Joe Brown did yesterday was being on code, right? This is a prime example of what being on code looks like. That's what it feels like. What's up, Jacob Jennings, DJ7 for Life? Salute to y'all, man. And I'm still trying to figure out why did you bring Tyrannosaurus Burke and Professor Chunky on your goddamn channel, Marc Lamont Hill? Why? That's all I gotta say about that. Salute to goddamn on, man. I cannot give enough salutes to goddamn on Judge Joe Brown for cooking that Bama yesterday. Straight up, man. Much honor and respect That motherfucker was running amok. That motherfucker was doing side shows on that goddamn channel last night. He ain't not more than a fucking consummate leech. Him and the roly-polies of the world. These motherfuckers are just, oh God, these motherfuckers get on my goddamn nerves. But you know another individual who's in my crosshairs, right? Monique Presley. Monique Presley, right? This so-called lawyer. I think she got this barred. Monique Presley, you ain't one who calls himself out to be a lawyer. You didn't do no kind of justice for Bill Cosby. None. You didn't do Bill Cosby no kind of justice. And here you are parading around on Roland Martin's show. You got your money and then fucking split. Disgusting ass heifer. Make me sick. But anyway, I'm out this bitch, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Smash the like, hit subscribe, man. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your boy. Scream at me.